going on, guys? Welcome back to today's video. So this is actually the third time that I shoot this, but we'll cut the other two out. Anyways, today we're gonna be finalizing these bad boys over here. So the headers for the car. So as you guys can see, we finally got those welded. So they came out really nice. Hopefully they fit as good as they look. If not, we're gonna have a problem. So unfortunately, since we do have a welder, but it's not good enough to weld this kind of material. I think moving forward, if this is jacked up right now, we're just gonna have to learn how to weld. There's no excuses at this point. So I will probably make the investment on getting a really nice welder, and we just have to learn how to weld. So we're gonna need one too in the future, so we'll see what happens. I do have to make some modifications to this one still. So as you guys can see, I got this extra large pipe right here. But yeah, I'll have to shorten this up a little bit. It's way too long. But yeah, so you guys get the idea. All right guys, so just working on removing this wastegate right now and the downpipe. So it doesn't fit as one piece. So just removing these bolts real quick. Just kind of tricky getting these headers on. This bolt first. Come look at this, guys. Woo! Look at that. Here, let's.
Stop! No, don't put it. But what am I supposed to show?
Hey guys, so today we actually don't have.
Stop! No.
We don't have Justin on the camera today, so my girlfriend's actually helping me out. So as we were shooting this, we were getting the headers on and the wastegate, as you guys know, but she didn't know what to shoot. So, anyways. This is what we're looking at down here, guys. Look at this. Oh yeah. Wastegate's looking good. That downpipe is really damn close, but it's exactly where we wanted it. Turbo is on, plenty of clearance. Now, as with everything else, here's gonna be the challenge, right? So here is our water pump housing. So right now it's facing upwards. I just have it like that for the time being, but it's actually supposed to shoot out that way. So what we are gonna do is probably get a swivel one that shoots in between the wastegate and the turbo downwards. And then we're gonna have to go over to connect to the radiator. So that's a plan. I think we have plenty of clearance down there. I'm gonna show you guys underneath the car right now. So we got a bucket right there just to hold the engine up, because if you guys remember, we need this thing tilting backwards a tiny bit, just because that's gonna be the actual position or level of the engine once we get our wastegate, our transmission on. So what I do want to look at right now is this pipe to see if it's long enough for the wastegate, and it looks like it's pretty good. So here's the bottom of the car. And there's a pipe. So I would say it's in a pretty good position. I was actually thinking about trimming it, but I think that's perfect. So that one's good. This one, that's all good old long john. We're gonna have to cut that one. But yeah, so hopefully we get lucky with the second header as we did with this first one. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that knocked out real quick. Well guys, we got lucky once again. Take a look at this. I want to toss my camera, please. Look at that. Both wastegates are in. Obviously not the same angle. There's different things going on each side, like this radiator hose. So you tried staying away from it, but aside from that, look at where that dump pipe is. No contact whatsoever around it. I was actually concerned that this brace right here was gonna touch that pipe, but we're good. Now what I will have to do, I think, is, so this radiator hose right here, if I can plop it in one-handed, there we go. So it makes contact with the downpipe for the wastegate. So the idea is that I'm gonna cut a little bit more off, maybe like an inch, so this shifts forward, and it should give us plenty of clearance for this downpipe. We'll wrap this up, of course, to protect it from heat, and we should be all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark this pipe down here, throw it on the bandsaw, and it should be good. and it's dead. But pretty much good. It's fine. Just have to take a little bit more off here, and then should be good to go. One's on. We're good, dude. We're good, dude.
God.
Yo, guys, check this out. Oh, it's a little dark mess down here, but come on, baby. Man, I hate how dark it is. That's weird. So there's our center bracket, our 2 pipes, pretty level, and there's the upper side, plenty of clearance still. So we're GTG.
Got to go.
Got to go.
That's what G2G means.
Good to go.
Got to go is G2G.
Good to go.
Back to MSN.
Good to go.
Stop focusing. Can you see my pores?
Finalize, I guess, headers portion of this build. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this radiator hose all the way up, and I'm actually gonna mark where I'm probably gonna take like let's do 1/2 inch off this side, and then that should pull everything back a bit. So I will need like a worm hose clamp, and just as a guide to run a utility blade around it. I'll show you guys here in a second. Dude, this thing gets so tacky once it's on there, which is not a bad thing. No leaks, but there it is. All right, so now take this side off. It's a lot easier than that side. All right, so one thing that I learned, guys, just quick tip. So you'll see how I got a nice clean cut. Scissors can't do that, utility knife will, but take a bracket, slide it on, and then you use this as a guide for your utility knife. Did that on both sides, and something we learned through this build. So I'm gonna go ahead and plop this back on, and if I remember, yep, it goes this way. So we should have that clearance that we were looking for. Slide this back in here, and slide this over here. We might have to cut a little bit more just because it took off like 3/4. It's about 3/4. So if we have to, we can. We got plenty of hose over here. Do some more things. There we go. Look at that. Can you come on this side? Here, I'll move this out of the way. Look at the gap in here. Way better. Before it was making contact. Now we're good. Oh yeah. Okay guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and transition onto the injector side of things. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this manifold off, and we're gonna be working on the table now. We got our first injector here. Again, 60-pound injectors, Siemens Deka, and they supplied us with a little bit of lube. So what I am gonna do is apply a little bit on the O-rings. It's just so it slides in easier in our little injector port here. And I did clean these, by the way, just to get a good seal. I ran like, it was like 8 Q-tips, and there was just so much gunk. So there we go. I think that's it. See what the bottom side looks like. I wonder if, see how that's notched? I wonder if it's supposed to have like, I'm gonna take this back out. Yeah, there's no direction. It looks like as long as you slide it in and it seals, it should be good to go. There we go, and that's it. So I'm gonna repeat the same process for the next 7, and then after that we'll get our fuel rails on. We'll bolt those down, and we'll bring you guys back up to speed. All right, so injectors are ready to go. They're all lubed up, and now I'm gonna go ahead and press in these fuel rails. I made sure to clean everything off, so nothing should get, I guess, gummed up. What we are gonna do too, I think when we fire up the car, we're actually gonna disconnect the fuel rails and fire up the fuel pump into like a bucket or something, just to make sure that any gunk or anything from like the lines goes into the bucket and we're not clogging up our injectors. Okay guys, so we got this thing finalized. Come take a look at this. So we got our Holley rails, got our EV1 to EV6 connectors, 60-pound injectors, and by the way, we also have our in-tank air temperature sensor right here. So I ended up drilling a hole in the in-tank and tapped it. So Great placement. I think it looks stock, looks great. So, and I already said looks great, but it does look great. So that's why I'm saying that it looks great. But underside, actually I'm gonna flip it this way. Nice and clean. You can see our injector heads popping out right there. Last thing that we have to do is pretty much tighten everything up. I have to connect my feed, which I still have to cut to length. And then aside from that, this is done. That's it, guys. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next week.